Welcome to the tile-ready waterproof wallboard installation video, where we'll showcase how Redi Wall provides a superior solution for achieving a leak-proof shower installation. Let's get started on creating a watertight shower with Redi Wall. Step 1. Installing first board on longest wall. Redi Wall boards feature a lap joint on one long edge, providing extra strength and waterproofing. Connect lap joints wherever possible, except for certain seams like corners and connections along the short edge or after scoring and snapping. No cutting is required for this initial board, but we always recommend dry fitting each piece to ensure a flawless fit before installation. For non-standard showers, measure the length of the longest splash wall and then measure the Redi Wall board, marking and cutting to match your specific shower width. Begin by applying a bead of Redi sealant to the top of the Redi flash along the longest wall. To ensure accurate fastener installation, mark out your studs before placing the wall board. Position the wall into the Redi sealant and against the studs, securing it with fasteners suitable for wet areas, such as stainless steel or galvanized. Make sure the lap joint faces the top of the Redi Wall board. Fasten the Redi Wall boards with fasteners positioned 1/2 inch from the edges, spaced approximately 12 inches apart. Use a straight edge to measure and mark where the fasteners will be installed along the studs. Fastener heads can be flush or slightly countersunk, but should not protrude above the surface of the Redi Wall board. As you install the board, it's important to remember the following. Use fasteners meant for wet areas, such as stainless steel or galvanized. Fasteners should be spaced approximately 12 inches from each other. Finally, using a putty knife, carefully remove excess Redi sealant between the wall and flashing. Smear any excess Redi sealant that seeped out from the joint with a putty knife until smooth. Now, let's ensure a professional, watertight installation together. Step 2. Installing additional boards on longest wall. Before positioning the second wall board, apply a thick continuous bead of Redi sealant along the top of the wall board in the lap joint. Set the next wall board against the studs and slide it down into the lap joint using moderate pressure to connect the Redi Wall boards together. An additional bead of Redi sealant should be applied above or below the joint to ensure coverage of at least 1 inch on the top and bottom of the seam between wall boards. If needed to achieve desired height, add a third board on top using the same methodology as the first two boards. For these exceptions, use a butt joint with a 1/8 inch gap filled with Redi sealant for waterproofing. If a lap joint edge isn't connected to another board, trim the 1/4 inch piece off using a score and snap method to achieve a finished board with a full 1/2 inch depth. Redi Wall boards are tailored for a standard 60-inch wide shower, just like the one we're working on today. Before positioning the third wall board, apply a thick continuous bead of Redi sealant along the top of the wall board. The flat sides of your second and third boards will be installed adjacent to one another using a butt joint technique. For all butt joints, be sure to leave a 1/8 inch gap between boards. If you need to use a ladder or step stool, do not place it directly on the pan. Put down a scrap piece of material first. Step 3. Installing remaining walls. Continuing with the installation, replicate the steps applied to the first longest wall for the remaining walls. Whether installed horizontally or vertically, the process remains the same. For walls featuring pipe or mixer valve penetrations, accurately measure the penetration locations and use an appropriate size drill bit or hole bit to create holes. Seal the pipe penetrations using either a pre-made fabric penetration cloth or generously apply Redi sealant between the hole and the pipe. This ensures complete coverage, eliminating any voids for a secure and watertight installation. Step 4. Sealing all joints. Once the wall boards are in place, thoroughly seal all joints and fastener penetrations with a generous application of Redi sealant. Use a putty knife to smooth any excess, ensuring a coverage of at least 1 inch on the top and bottom of the seam between wall boards. This step guarantees a comprehensive and watertight seal for a professional finish. Step 5. Installing a niche. Measure the location of the Redi niche by placing it face first against the desired location of the Redi wall and trace the outline of the niche onto the Redi wall. Cut the opening using an oscillating tool or similar device used to cut wall boards. For complete instructions, please watch our Redi niche installation video. Step 6. Ready for tile. After installation, use a damp cloth to remove any dust or debris prior to applying thin-set mortars for tile installation. You are now ready to set your tile using a white modified thin-set or tile mortar and a notched trowel, as specified by the thin-set/tile mortar manufacturer based on your tile size.